Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen. Today we will be making a completely vegan lentil soup with carrots, tomatoes, and onions, and a vegan sweet potato soup with ginger. We're going to start with the lentil soup. For starters, we're going to need half a cup of olive oil. Yes, it seems like a lot, but it adds richness to the soup. The onions follow, and they need to be peeled and chopped. We're also going to need 4 carrots, also peeled and chopped into rounds. We're also going to need 8 cloves of peeled and minced garlic. Now it's time for the spices. Here we have 4 teaspoons of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, and 1 teaspoon of thyme. For the tomatoes, we're either going to need 2 large cans or 4 small cans of diced tomatoes. I kind of mix them up. Then we're going to drain them in a colander. And then finally the lentils, which should be rinsed and picked. Now we need an overwhelming amount of 12 whole cups of vegetable broth. And last but not least, we have our finishing spices, consisting of 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 pinches of red pepper flakes, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and salt and pepper at the ready. Now for the sweet potato soup, we're going to need 12 whole sweet potatoes, all peeled and chopped. We're also going to need 2 tablespoons of minced ginger, 6 cups of vegetable broth, and 2 cups of coconut milk. So let's get started on actually cooking the soups. On the right we have our lentil soup, where we combine all our oil, carrots, and onions to cook for about 5 minutes on medium heat until the onions have turned translucent. On the left we have our sweet potato soup, where we will add in first all our potatoes, ginger, and vegetable broth, and we will bring it to a boil. For the lentil soup, the next part is going to be adding in all the garlic, cumin, curry powder, and thyme. And we're going to cook it for about 30 seconds until fragrant. And now I'm going to add in my diced tomatoes and cook it for a few more minutes. Once the sweet potatoes have boiled, put a lid on it and reduce the heat to low to let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Now we can add in the rest of our ingredients to the lentil soup. That is, the lentils themselves, the broth, 1 teaspoon of salt, the 2 pinches of red pepper flakes, and seasoning it with ground black pepper. We're now ready to bring the soup to a boil. Once boiling, we can reduce the heat to low and let it simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now that the sweet potatoes have been cooking, you can remove the lid and either put them in a food processor or use an immersion blender like I'm using. You want to do this until the soup thickens so that it actually looks like soup and not sweet potato clumps. And last but not least, we're going to add our coconut milk into the pot and then warm it until ready to serve. And then last but not least, for the lentil soup, you're going to remove it from heat and then add in your lemon juice. Season with salt and pepper to taste. And there you have it. Now your soups are ready to serve. For extra flavor, you can serve it with Parmesan for the lentil soup, cilantro for the potato soup, and salt and pepper. I hope you enjoyed this edition of In the Kitchen. Let's send it right back to the desk.